If you currently feel like no matter how hard you try, you cannot stay disciplined, no matter how badly you want to change, how much you want to achieve your massive goals, you just can't get yourself to consistently do the things that you know you need to do, this video is for you. Your lack of discipline is not because you are lazy. It's not because you don't want it enough. The reason that you can't stay disciplined is because you are going about discipline the completely wrong way. So today I want to give you all of the strategies, tools, and mindset shifts based on neuroscience and psychology that I use to finally reach the other side. The side where I can stay disciplined, where I know how to make every week my week. So let's get into it. Thanks to our ancestors, quick fixes are hardwired into our DNA. We had no sense of long-termism. We had to take advantage of every opportunity because tomorrow was never promised. Since then, the world has evolved, technology has evolved, innovation has evolved, but our minds are still back in the same state as they were 200 years ago. This is why consistency is so hard, why we are so immersed in the mentality that quicker equals better. And it's not just this, the nature of social media today means that we see so many overnight successes. We see the influencer that comes out of nowhere. We see the 20-kilogram weight loss in 10 seconds. Even just in the last week, one of my reels went viral on Instagram. It looks easy, it looks like luck, it makes us think, if I just had that, then I'd be able to do that too. What we don't see are the days, the weeks, the months, even the years of hard work behind the scenes, the discipline that creates these overnight successes. That one reel that I got that went viral came after 333 non-viral reels. The 20 kilos I lost came after months of workouts, walks, meal prepping, and consistently counting my calories. If we want to be disciplined, we have to take control of our minds and rewrite the scripts. We have to recognize that all worthwhile things take time and start treating discipline as a long-term game. And we have to retrain ourselves to do things again and again without expecting immediate results. So let's dive into the 6 ways that we can do this. Number 1, make discipline easy. We have been taught to see discipline as something full of hustle and grind. Wake up at 5 a.m, force yourself to go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Make yourself do that work when it's the last thing that you feel like doing. I want you to change that narrative right now. Researchers ran a study with a rat and a running wheel. They found that when the rat ran on the wheel by choice, it experienced all the positive health outcomes that you would expect from running. Better health, better mood, and less risk of illness. However, what they then did is they attached that rat's running wheel to the wheel of another rat. So every time that second rat ran, the first one had to run as well, but it wasn't by choice. The outcome was that the rat's results reversed. It actually experienced negative health outcomes from running, from doing something that should have given it positive outcomes. So if you see the tasks that you're doing as requiring immense discipline, if you see them as incredibly difficult, then you are going to find them so much harder than they have to be. In reality, discipline is only as hard as you make it. So when I first started creating content, I had absolutely nothing in place. I had no way to create content. I had no place to generate ideas and keep track of ideas. I had no resources to spark inspiration and no time even blocked out to create the content. I literally started each day with a blank slate, so it's no wonder that I never had the discipline to stay consistent. You need to do everything in your power to make the thing that you're trying to stay consistent with as easy as possible. So for my content now, I have a place to keep track of all my ideas. I have a list of resources and podcasts saved that I can use for inspiration. I have templates that I can use for my reels and my YouTube videos and my newsletters. I have an entire Notion system that houses all of this. It makes the absolute world of difference, and you can make changes like this for anything you're trying to stay consistent with. Journaling, working out, eating well, weekly planning, learning a new skill, even organizing your home life. When you implement systems, and especially digital systems, you just take the pressure off. You know exactly what to do, you know exactly where to find it, and you know exactly when you're going to do it. There's just one less barrier to doing the thing. If you are interested in starting to create a digital home base on Notion, I do have a free course that you can access. I'll put it in the description, and it will basically take you through how to start setting up your digital home base in Notion. All right, number 2 is to have goals that matter. There is not a single good thing that does not require long-term effort to create and and maintain. And this is why it's so important to create a vision that you actually want, because if you just do something for money or for social status, you will never see success because you don't have the intrinsic drive required to continue showing up each day. Money might motivate you to build a business or pursue a career opportunity initially, but it's not going to keep you going when you feel like nothing is working. What will keep you going is the vision of the life you're trying to build, the impact you know that you can have on others, the personal growth that you'll get to experience. Discipline and consistency becomes 10 times easier when you know the thing that you're trying to stay disciplined in is contributing to something bigger than yourself. It's easy when you have a strong why, and research backs this up. Having a why activates your brain's reward system, and this releases dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter that's responsible for motivation. We all know that when you're motivated, taking action feels so much easier. There's no longer that massive resistance that you have to overcome, and so staying disciplined becomes that much simpler. So if you truly want to be disciplined, stop doing things just for the sake of doing them or because you see everyone else doing them. Instead, create your own vision, work out the things that you have to do on a daily basis, the things that you actually want to stay disciplined with to reach that vision, and pursue that. Write down your why behind these things and keep that at the front of your mind, especially when you feel yourself struggling. If you don't know what your vision or goals are, or if you've realized that your current ones need refreshing because they're not actually what you want, I did a yearly reset video that works you through the entire process of creating a vision and setting your goals. So I'll link that one if you want to see more. Number 3 is to find your minimum viable input. Even if you have a clear why, and even if you have the systems that will make discipline easier, you still will not feel like showing up every day, and you won't have the same amount of time to show up with every day. This is inevitable. I have made content creation easier, but I still don't feel like doing it every day. I genuinely love working out and I know why I do it, but there's still days where I just don't have the time or I can't be bothered. But showing up on the days where you don't feel like it is the most important thing you can do, because the days where you do show up even when you don't feel like it, that's when you develop the self-trust. That's when you prove to yourself that you are disciplined, and it's how you make continual progress despite your lack of motivation. So this is where your minimum viable input comes in. Your MVI is basically the smallest thing that you have to do to stay consistent. On the days that you don't have time or the days that it feels incredibly hard, instead of doing the full version, you do the MVI. For example, maybe you do a 20-minute workout instead of 60 minutes. Maybe you post one story on Instagram instead of 5. Maybe you reach out to one client in your business instead of 10. Or maybe you have a 5-minute conversation with your family where you're fully engaged instead of a 30-minute dinner. You're still ticking the box, you're still doing what you said you would do, and you're filling up that success cup a little bit. Because discipline is not about putting in 100% every day. It's showing up with what you have and giving your all based on what you can contribute on that day. The act of simply keeping this streak going does insane things for your self-perception. It's one of the biggest things that has made me see myself as a disciplined person, which then makes discipline just a part of my identity. Number 4 is to make the effort the reward. Every major issue I've had with consistency has come from being too focused on the outcome, trying to jump from where I was straight to where I wanted to be. And this happened in so many journeys: my productivity journey, my health journey, my social media journey. I wanted to be the person who was 20 kilos lighter, but I didn't want to put in the work to get there. I wanted to be the person with the massive Instagram following, but I didn't want to go through the beginner stages and having to show up when no one was watching. The single biggest thing that got me out of this pattern was focusing on making the effort itself the reward. So if I now look at my social media, I don't have a number stuck on a vision board because I can only control this to a certain extent. I would just be delaying the reward to an arbitrary endpoint, and I know that by the time I got to that point, it still wouldn't feel like enough and the bar would just keep on raising. Instead, I post consistently because I get satisfaction in the fact that I show up every day. I enjoy proving to myself that I'm consistent. I enjoy the process of learning and creating the posts. And I enjoy knowing that I am making an impact on just one person. So I've started to crave the feeling of pressing post. The new followers, the likes, the reshares, they're just a bonus. And so when a post that I thought would do really well flops, or when I lose followers, hours, I still show up and do the same thing again the next day, because those followers and the engagement isn't the only reward anymore. The small action and the process of getting those followers is. Number 5 is to stop taking a path that you hate. The amount of people who want to reach their goals without putting in the consistency and effort to get there is insane. There is so much irony in this, because what you do to get to your goal, to get the results, that is what you have to continue doing after you reach the goal to continue your success. So if YouTubers stopped creating videos, then they wouldn't be YouTubers anymore. If CEOs stopped running their business, they wouldn't be a CEO anymore. If healthy people stopped exercising and eating well, they wouldn't be healthy people anymore. This is what makes enjoying the process so important, because the process is the outcome. The process is the end goal. Every rep that you put in before the achievement is preparing you for maintaining that after the achievement. If my first Instagram post went viral, it wouldn't really give me any results, because I wouldn't know how to maintain it. I wouldn't know how to post consistently and interact with my community. The same thing goes with my entire health journey. If I just woke up one day 20 kilos lighter, I would put that weight straight back on again, because I would not know the fundamentals to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. This is something that I have ingrained into my mind so much that I actually don't want results without consistent effort. It's the reason why I now avoid quick fixes at all costs, because I know that the results won't last. When you make this mindset shift and make the input something that you genuinely enjoy doing, it doesn't mean that you'll feel like doing it every day. It doesn't mean that it will be easy. It doesn't mean that it won't take effort to stay consistent and stay disciplined, but it does mean that you're not building yourself into a life you don't even want. And it does make discipline easier, because you know the things that you're doing now are giving you gains in the long term. The other part to this is that enjoying doing something reduces the effort required to do that thing. When you perceive tasks to be fun or easy, your brain requires less activation energy to start that thing. There's basically less of an initial hump to get over. So instead of rolling a boulder up a hill, you're rolling it along a flat surface. I've brought this into almost every aspect of my life to make everything that I do that much easier. So previously, when I started trying to exercise consistently, I aimed to get myself to run every single day. After about 3 years, I have only just started to enjoy running again. It was not something that my unfit, unhealthy, unmotivated self could maintain. I was only consistent with exercising when I finally switched to strength training and tried something different. So sometimes it's not that you're undisciplined or you don't want it enough. Sometimes it's just that you're using the wrong tools and you're taking the wrong path to try and reach your goal. So explore what's out there, look at the other paths that you can use to reach the place that you want, and give those a go, because if you can find things that you genuinely enjoy, you will make staying disciplined so much easier. Number 6 is to keep yourself accountable. Now, I heard the most interesting story of external accountability when I was listening to a podcast the other week. I think it was the founder of ConvertKit, and he basically started his business while he was working at another company, and he told everyone in the company that he was going to be leaving to pursue his own business in a year because it was going to take off. So this meant that he got constant questions from the people around him about how his business was doing, what he was working on, and when he was going to quit. He literally created an outcome where a successful business became the most obvious path, and look where he's at now. This typically only works for people who work well under external pressure. So if you don't resonate with this, then maybe don't use this method, but you could do something a bit more low key, like find one person who supports you, who's on your side, and make a deal with them. Tell that person that you will do X thing every day for 30 days, and if you don't do it, you'll pay them $10, $100, $1,000, whatever feels like a lot for you. This is another form of external accountability, because you now have your word and your money on the line. If that's not creating some motivation and discipline, then I don't know what is. If you take one thing from this video, make it this. To go viral on YouTube, you have to consistently make videos until you're worthy of going viral on YouTube. To create success in your career or business, you have to consistently do the work to create that success. To lose weight or gain muscle, you have to consistently do the right workouts and eat the right foods until you get those results. Don't be fooled by overnight success, because almost every overnight success has actually had years of work behind the scenes. So right now, grab your journal or comment below and write down 3 things. 1 goal that you are going to achieve, one thing that you are going to stay consistent with to achieve that goal, and one tool that you will use to stay disciplined. I can't wait to see you all out there smashing your goals. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every one of you. If you found value in this, please like and subscribe, and let me know any other videos that you would love to see.